Morrison to Clinton. We're going to be visiting with Stephanie and Pat. The Morrison Historical Society has an event coming up this Sunday. It's got a little bit of a Clinton connection with it. So who wants to get started? Who wants to talk? Pat? Pat, get a little closer to the microphone there. There you go. Swing that over there towards you.
Okay.
So what is taking place this Sunday?
Well, we are going to have a program at Ebenezer Reformed Church, which is on East Park Street in Morrison. And it starts at 2 o'clock, and it is going to be what we call the Volkman Trifecta. And we will be featuring Russell Volkman's two sons, William and Ted. And they are going to be talking about their World War II hero father, who rose to the rank of Brigadier General after World War II. And he certainly is a Clinton hero. He is one of the three men that are honored on the granite rock down by the showboat. And of course, if anyone followed the activities of World War II, especially in the Pacific, Russell Volkman ended up being on that island when it was taken over by the Japanese. And he literally, for 3 years, was on the run, training guerrilla Filipinos to do guerrilla warfare. And for 3 years, they did just that. The Japanese could never find him. They certainly would have executed him, I think. And that's why he knew he had no choice but to escape. And that's what he and another man did, the two of them. And they finally found some Filipinos, and it grew. The number of individuals in this group, militia group, grew until there were like 8,000. And they held that, well, they kept themselves from being captured.
That is amazing.
It's an amazing. He's got a book out called I Remained.
No, it's We
Remained. Yes.
Yeah.
I just started reading it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I ordered it.
You're going to finish it by Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Of course, I know Volkman of Volkman Furniture. So how did that come about? Stephanie.
Well, the family began in Clinton, but as things expanded, they moved a division over to Morrison. So we know it as Volkman Furniture here in town. And we have this picture right there, great big complex. It was more or less close to GE in that area by the railroad tracks for sending product out. And they were there a number of years.
So his wife's maiden name is Rich.
Correct.
And
yes.
Rich Toy Factory. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So there you have the trifecta.
Well, that's how we've tied Mrs. Volkman into the Rich Toys.
Now, she was born in Sterling, moved to Morrison. Her and Russell were married in 1948, and they lived most of their life in Morrison, but they also had ties to Clinton. They met at the Clinton Country Club playing golf, her and Russell, and she was an excellent golfer, one of the best golfing women in Whiteside County. She would win a championship just about every year called the Lincoln Highway Golf Tournament. She was an excellent golfer, just a great lady. And they were wined and dined at the White House. That's one thing they'll talk about Sunday.
So now William and Ted are both going to be there?
Yes.
Okay, and
the
those are the
sons-
boys.
the
Okay.
Sons of Russell and Helen. And
I would imagine they're in their 70s, right? I would think.
Well, Ted just retired from Climco.
Okay.
That's another manufacturing company in Morrison, founded by local people, and he just retired. Bill, has been in Georgia for I don't know how long, but most of his life, although he was instrumental in Volkman Furniture, and him and his father, Russell was the president, but Bill had a lot to do with the operation of Volkman. They're going to talk about the fire that burned Volkman Furniture down.
But the building was vacant at the time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and that was the only saving grace. But it was one of the most horrendous fires Morrison ever experienced. If you talk to firemen, they'll tell you.
Now, we had you ladies in last year to talk about Arnie Beswick. How
Yes.
did that go over last
Oh,
year?
my goodness. That was over the top.
Yeah.
We had about 300 people there, and Arnie was in prime form. He just loved every minute, and he was so interesting and very easy to understand. The sound was great, and this was going to be live streamed on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So people who cannot attend can get on Ebenezer Reformed Church, Morrison, Illinois, and it should come right to it. After the program begins, they can go right to it, or afterward, they could go to Facebook and find the program if they can't be here.
That is great. Let's learn a little bit about the Morrison Historical Society. How was it formed? How long have you been together? What are some of the things that you do? Do you meet regularly? Stephanie?
We meet once a month. We have the third Tuesday of the month is our board meeting, but anybody could come and attend a board meeting. So we have a total of 15 trustees, and
The museum's open.
say what?
The museum, they can
Oh,
come.
okay, yes, the museum itself is winding down. Our last opening will be the Sundays in November. So we have another program coming up.
Well, tell us about that. We got time here.
That's going to be a good one, too.
Well, that's a musical program. And many years ago, I had a group called the Arkansas Connection come and play. And this is just acoustic music with guitar and banjo and a bass and sometimes mandolin. And then they are vocalists also. So they've been around for many years. But
So
they're
where
coming
is
back.
the museum located at?
It is 202 East Lincoln Way in Morrison. It's on the corner of Highway 30 and Highway 78. It's a big white building that used to be a congregational church when it was originally created.
So I
Used
know-
to be the Odell Library for the old timers also.
Okay, there you go. The Clinton Historical Society down on our riverfront there, I've been in there and they've got things all over the place. Is yours museum kind of along the same lines?
Oh, yes, and I want to let everyone know, if they ever come to the museum, it's open on Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4, and we have an exhibit of rich toys. And this is something we have not talked about yet in our discussion here, but rich toys were very well known back in the day, and they're worth a lot today because they're no longer in business. And so if you have a rich toy, it's very collectible.
You could be rich.
Yeah.
So you have some of those at the
I
museum?
remember being in a little rocking horse. They're all made out of wood. A rich toy back then. They had doll houses, barns, rocking horses.
Lots of wagons, pull toys, lots of things the child could manipulate.
Primarily made of wood?
Wood.
Well, they're made of wood,
Yeah.
but they have a paper printed design on them. So they're not painted on, it's a paper design. So,
I can't stress enough how important Mr. Volkman is. Russell, the war hero. He truly was, one of the, if you want to pick a handful of soldiers that were, made a big difference in the World War II, he certainly did in the Philippine Islands.
See,
And
now,
I-
you've got something laminated there. Is that going to be on display
Oh,
on
yeah.
yes,
Sunday?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
And what
yes.
people may not know, I don't want to steal their thunder, but one of the guys that Mr. Volkman trained was Fernando Marcos, who went on to become the president of the Philippine Islands. He and his wife were invited to a state dinner by Johnson, LBJ, and he asked Mr. Marcos, "Who do you want on your guest list?" Well, guess who was on that list?
That is amazing.
And-
That is a great story.
It is, and there is an article right there, and it will be at the program
Okay.
about
For
the
people to
state
read.
dinner that Teddy, who was only 5 at the time,
Okay.
was bragging to his friends at the Morrison school, "Hey, my dad's going to the White House." And now Ted will be one of our speakers.
That is going to be great. So, Arnie Beswick, you got Russell Volkman that you're going to be honoring. How are you guys going to top yourself? What's coming up? What do you got? You got any other celebrities over there?
Oh, gosh.
Well, Pat always has a list in her mind.
We
so-
come up with a lot of
Yeah.
good programs. We really do.
Yeah, it is
And
amazing.
some are well attended and some are not because it's just the way it is.
In our museum, if visitors come, we have some mannequins, and most of them wear military uniforms, the different branches of the service, but we have a couple brides, and we have a lady in a beautiful pale yellow satin dress with green sequins on the bodice. And that was the dress that Helen Volkman wore to the White House.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So I was telling a story to our guests for a program. How did we spend our inheritance from one of our wonderful, generous donor families? And I said, we bought these new mannequins. Okay, so this little lady in one of the close-up rows to where I was speaking to the audience said, "That's my dress." And it was Helen Volkman.
Oh my goodness. What a story.
I did not know her, but I get goosebumps just telling my story, how thrilled I was that she could see it
Yeah.
on display. And I said, well, you need to tell this story. You tell us about your trip to the White House. So
Oh
I
my
let
goodness.
her talk.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
great.
but
That
the
is
dress is always on display for those to come and see.
So again, this Sunday, Ebenezer Reformed Church, 309 East Park Street in Morrison. Doors open at 1. The program, I can read upside down. And the program will begin at 2 o'clock. Again, if people would like to find out more about the Morrison Historical Society, Pat, the best way to do that.
Well, you can certainly come to the museum when it's open, or come to a board meeting.
You guys on Facebook, things like that?
Yes, we do have a Facebook.
Morrison.
Morrison Historical Society.
Morrison I-L, Historical Society.
Yeah.
You have to put that in there.
Okay.
There'll be tidbits in there and whatnot. I also want to add they won't go away without getting some really delicious snacks and refreshments and drinks.
Well, that's the important part.
That will be in the fellowship hall afterward.
Thank you
So-
both for coming in. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll talk to you next year. How's that sound?
We'll let you know, Gary.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
You're listening to AM 1340 KROS, Clinton, Iowa.
FM 105.9.
and KROSradio.com.